Hey guys, happy International Women's Day. So you're all welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to be showing you how to draft, cut and sew these biker shorts that does not have a side seam. So this is going to be a great tutorial, especially for a plus size woman who finds it difficult to find her own size of a biker short, guys. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let's head into it. So guys, you get your brown paper like this, or your pattern paper, whatever paper you're using. So I just marked 18 inches from here to here and I drew a straight line across. Now I marked 18 inches. How you would know the amount of what you should mark on your own pattern is your lap measurement divided by 2 plus maybe 3 inches would be enough for you here. So you now move this pattern paper back to where that 18 inch, because the back panel will be on this side and the front panel will be on this side of your fabric, your pattern. That is why. So it's a little bit different from the regular trouser that we were used to. So the length of my biker short is 20 inches, or 19 would be fine for me as well. So I'm going to be using 2.5 inches for the waistband, because I'm going to be adding a waistband to it. Or let me just use 1 inch for the waistband. So which means I'm going to be drafting 18 inches right now. So I will be needing 1 inch for hemming the pant. So I need a total of 19 inches right now. So I'll mark 19 inches like so on my pattern paper, like so. Then I'll move further and mark 19 inches. Then I'll connect it in a straight line like so. So for this biker short, it's a little bit different from drafting your regular pant pattern. So from here, I'll mark the distance from my waist to my hip, right? So you remember I said I was adding a 1 inch waistband. So I'll just place 1 inch like so. Then I'll mark my hip, the distance to my hip like so. Then I'll mark the distance to my crouch, right? So I'll go ahead and mark my crouch line like so. So for you to measure your crouch, you just sit on a flat surface, then you take your measurement from your hip to the chair. That would be your crouch measurement. So I'm just going to go ahead and square out my lines. Sorry, I'm not sure that line is straight, so let me double check. Sorry, I made an error on that line, so I just rectified that. So this is our new crouch line, not this line anymore, guys. So I'm sorry about that error. So you just go ahead and connect your lines and like so on your hip line. So now this, and then this line will be the hem of your crouch, and it's part of your lap. So you just measure that, the circumference of that point. Now on our crouch measurement, I'm going to mark half of my lap measurement. So my lap measurement is 30 inches, so I'll mark half of it, which is 15 inches. I'll mark that like so. Then on the hip side, I'll mark a quarter of my hip measurement. So a quarter of my hip measurement would be 12 inches. So I'll mark the 12 inches like so. Now I'll come with my French curve and just sort of connect that line like so in a curve, like so. Then on this side, I'll mark my waist measurement, a quarter of my waist measurement, which is 10 inch. So I'll just go ahead and connect like so, right? So on this side, so that point where the point where my biker short is supposed to end, I'll just measure that point, and it's 22 inches. So I'll mark half of 22 inches, which will be 11 inches, like so. So if you want it really tight, because I'm using a stretchy material, so you would subtract 1 inch from 1 inch from each of your measurements, just to get it to be really tight, guys. So, and I'm not going to be adding any sewing allowance because my fabric is pretty straight. So this is what I have right now. So I'll move my pattern paper. Then I'll come to this line as well, and on the crouch I'll just extend all my lines towards this direction. I'll extend my lines like so. So I extend my lines. So on this side, you remember I have 22 inches. So I'm going to mark that half of the 22 on the lap side as well, which is another 11 inches. I'll mark it like this. Then on the crouch line on that side, you remember we have 15 inches. So I'm going to mark 16 instead on this one, because this is the back crouch and it carries the butt area. So I'll mark, I can even do 17. Let me do 17 to be safe. So I'll do 17 inches instead of 16. Then the hip line as well, I'll mark a quarter of my hip measurement, which is 12. So I'll mark 12 inches here. And on the waist, I'll mark a quarter of my waist measurement, like so. Then when I do that, because this is the back, so I'll need to add the butt rise. So I'm going to mark, for my butt rise, I'm marking around 1.5 inches or 2 inches. You can go 2 inches if you want your butt to be properly concealed, 2 inches upwards. Then on these 2 inches upwards, now I'm going to mark this 10 inches like so, but I'll raise it up on the butt like so. Then I'll mark where that 10-inch is on the butt rise. So this line is not going to be straight, rather it will slant upwards up to this butt rise point. Then I'm going to be making my curve like so. So I'll be making my curve. I'll start gradually here. Then I'll just go ahead and sort of refine my curve here, and I'll connect it like so. Sorry there. You just sort of make here a nice curve. Let it be gentle, right? So I'll now connect this side back to this side like so. Like so. Now on this side, on the crouch line, I'll come down by half of an inch. So I'll mark half inch like so. Then I'll drop this curve to that half-inch point. This is very important as it helps the pants fit properly. So this is the back side and this is the front. So you label this side back and this side front so that you know how you lay it on your fabric. So this is one leg of your pants. So it doesn't look like a pants for now, but don't worry. By the time we cut it and come to sew it together, everything will come together. So I'll now cut from this half-inch point. Now you remember I told you I'm using an elastic fabric, so I'm not going to be adding any sewing allowance, because plus you can take out of your fabric depending on how tight you want your biker short. So for the waistband, I'm just going to cut a straight piece. I'm not necessarily following this. So when we fold, so you can see it's looking a lot more like a trouser now that is folded. So we just drafted it like this to avoid a seam on the side. The biker short does not have a seam on the side. So this is what it looks like. So I'll bring my fabric so I can cut it. So here is what we have now. So for the waistband, I'm just cutting a straight strip, right? So guys, I'm just starting off with a long strip of fabric that is measured 40 inches. So it's just long by my waist. Remember, my waist measurement is 40 and is by 3. Now the reason why I have it by 3 is because I'm going to be using elastic, and my elastic is 1 inch. So I would need to sandwich this in the elastic inside of the waistband, and I'll need another half of an inch to sew it round. So that's why I made 3 inches. So by the time you fold like so and you sew, you will have that exact 1 inch of the waistband. Now the elastic that I'm using is going to be, I measured it 38 inches. I minus 2 inches from my waistband. You can do 3 inches depending on how tight you want it to be. So I might end up cutting it a little bit more than more than 3 inches. So let's say I'll just take out like 3 or 4 inches away from 40 inches. So my waistband might end up being 36 inches. Then you go ahead and join the waistband. You stitch it up like so. So I'm just double stitching on my overlocker so that it has it nice and secured. So you want it to be sewn into a round shape like so. So you close off your waistband as well. So I'll make sure that my waistband is 40 inches exactly, or a little bit lesser because the fabric is a little bit stretchy. So I'll go ahead and close it. I have a little bit more than 40, so I'll cut some of that off. I just want to secure twice, so I'll just go ahead and overlock twice. You don't have to do yours twice, guys. I'm just trying to be a little bit extra. So now I'll put this inside of this like so. Then I'll just go ahead and close that off. So I'll just secure it nicely, and then you make sure that you're not overlocking the elastic as well. You're just overlocking your excess, that ½ inch excess that we have. That's what I'm ensuring that I'm overlocking. I have my pattern, my 2-piece like this. So you remember we cut out 2 of our panels, one facing opposite direction. So I'm just going to match my back side to this back side as well. Then I'll bring it over to my sewing machine. You make sure that it's nice and aligned. So I'll join the back. So I have it looking like this. So I'll go ahead and join the front side. So you can see our short is coming together. So I'll just go ahead and join, ensuring that our midpoint, our center, our crouch line meets. I'll just go ahead and join from one leg to the other leg. So you ensure that the mid side meets. So I'll just flip it over to the right side like so. Then here is our front and then the back. Now I'll bring my waistband like so. Now this seam side is going to be on the back, on the center back line like so. Then I'll bring it back here and go ahead and so guys, this is it. When I was done overlocking, I didn't feel the need to hem the down, as the hem of the fabric had this nice tapered look. So I just left it like that. If you recreate this, please tag me on all my social media platforms. I would love to see your recreations. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed, guys. See you in my next video, guys. Bye.